All day long, I thought I was recording episode 125 tonight. Like I even took notes at work. My page here says 125. It's not 125, it's 124. I know this now. I looked it up. It's true. We're going to talk about pinball. We're going to talk about how pinball manufacturing is hard and some other stuff here on a nice, beautiful, moonlit San Diego December night. Coast-to-Coast Pinball, episode 124. Let's go. Welcome to Coast2Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. This is a podcast. It's commentary. I'm a man out of quarters. Kind of forgot what episode we were doing tonight. Thought we had already done 124. A look back to the old Coast2CoastPinball.com page shows that indeed it was 123. It was last recorded. That's okay. That's okay. So how's everyone doing? I am staring at a Bride of Pinball machine with the back glass off, the lit door panel wide open with all the light bulbs in it, and the boards exposed, waiting on my new board, my new MPU board that I may or may not be receiving from a friend from another continent. So yeah, I'm gonna get this guy fixed up and I'm gonna sell it. Bride of Pinball, you're getting sold. Tales from the Crypt might stay. I've had this weird week or 2 weeks with Tales from the Crypt where I was pretty sure we were selling Tales from the Crypt, me and myself, and I started playing it more and realizing I might just hang on to this game. This game, it's fun, it's hard. And then I was provoked today by a thread on the Pinside forums. This is not forum static, this is just me blabbing right now. Whether or not Judge Dredd was better than Tales from the Crypt, and I've owned both, and I will tell you that I believe Tales from the Crypt is a more entertaining game for me. I could see why some might prefer Judge Dredd. However, I will take Tales from the Crypt just about any day over Judge Dredd myself. So I've played some tonight. It's a hard game. It's not an incredibly easy game to get through. Some of the geometry on Tales from the Crypt makes things difficult. I like that. I like difficult. Speaking of liking difficult, a game by one Spooky Pinball, America's Most Haunted, is getting more and more talk as more games are shipped out and people are getting to play the game more in their homes. There's a few out on location, and I think one of the overwhelming themes about America's Most Haunted that we're hearing is that the game is hard, it's difficult, and I would echo that sentiment from when I've played it. And when I last played it at the Pinball Wizard arcade in Pelham, New Hampshire, man, it was hard, and I love that. I love a difficult game for the home environment, so I'm excited about that. And just a quick update, I have now made the final payment to Spooky Pinball on my America's Most Haunted, shipping and all. And I would assume that this game will be on its way to me very, very soon. So that will definitely lead to some talk on a certain podcast you might be listening to right at the moment, because that's going to be a big deal. Getting one of the early America's Most Haunted here at Coast2Coast Pinball headquarters, where we're currently coming to you not live on December 8th, 2014. Glad you're joining us. I've had some emails asking about shirts. I'm going to do a holiday shirt sale, and I'm going to run this shirt sale in about a week, and I'm going to run it for about 5 days, and it's going to be a good price on whatever shirts I have left, and we're going to sell them all. And when they're all sold, we're going to do something new for next year, new shirt or something. So there will be a sale on shirts coming up. I've kept it off the website for a little bit because I decided that's going to be my Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, secular day of relaxation gift to all of you out there. Will be cheap Coast-to-Coast Pinball t-shirts and whatever I have left, and I haven't done an inventory, so I don't know. What else is going on? I have been playing a lot of location pinball lately. I know we haven't been doing a lot of podcasts. It's been a little sparse lately. I know I've been very busy finishing out the year-end at Taylor Guitars, trying to make this year as best as I can make it, hit my goals, sell as many guitars as I can, while keeping the general climate of business positive in my territory, if you know what I'm saying. So I've taken advantage of some free time here and there. I've played at the High Dive here locally. They currently have a Metallica Premium, an AC/DC Premium, Lucy Edition, a Funhouse, and an Iron Man Vault Edition, which is a nice little collection of pinball machines. And that's been a lot of fun. Been playing there. Been playing at Nickel City on Miramar Road here in San Diego, which has the largest public collection of pinball machines you can play locally in the San Diego County area. WWF, Royal Rumble, Diner, Tron, Wizard of Oz, Indiana Jones Stern, South Park. Totally forgetting something else, but a nice mix of games there too, so that's been a lot of fun. Lethal Weapon 3, that is the game I think I'm forgetting. So I've been playing there some too. It's been a lot of fun, and really enjoying it. Playing a lot of my games, a lot of Twilight Zone, been playing some Skylab, and like I said before, I've been playing some Tales from the Crypt. Been reading a lot of stuff about pinball. Been working on some ideas for the show. We're gonna do some more. What did I call it? Showdowns, right? That is what I called it. Got a couple of those lined up. Probably not tonight. Got some other housekeeping stuff to do tonight. I've been listening to a lot of pinball podcasts. Sometimes I'll be ready to do a show, and then I remember it's the first of the month, and then so the Spooky Pinball podcast hits, and then maybe Don and Jeff put an episode out. So then I have all this pinball built up, and I'd rather go listen to that than just shoot off my show, because I want to see what they have to say. And I'm about halfway through the Spooky show where they're at the Stern Factory for the Christmas Holiday Edition, which is cool. And I listened to the most recent pinball podcast, which I liked a lot. So that's very good. Very good. I'm trying to think what else we got going on. Lots going on, actually. So let's jump right into a little thing that we like to call
forum static.
Yes, forum static. There's a lot of stuff going on the Pinside forums. In fact, we're going to be multi-forumed tonight, but I'll get to that in a minute. So I don't believe I talked about this, because I think it's been about a week since we did episode 123, and since then, or about a week ago, we had a post entitled "A Few Words from Skit B Pinball" posted on here on the Pinside forums, and Kevin from Skit B Pinball put this up, and I think it was to sort of squash some of the noise, the quote static on the forums that was going on about what's up with Predator, like where is Predator, what's going on. And Kevin kind of came straight out, and I think it was a very honest sounding post. It was a very I think post from a very busy man, a man who is very tied up with this crazy pinball manufacturing idea. And yes, I will quote the third paragraph, which is one sentence, and it is, "Manufacturing pinball machines is hard," which I believe I said that first. No, I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that, but a joke was made later in that thread that I think Kevin owes me royalties on, because I've been saying that for a long time, since all these companies started coming out saying, we're going to build pinball machines, and then you saw lots of stumbles and trip-ups and delays and things happening, and this is from everyone. This is from Jersey Jack to Spooky to Skit B to whoever. Whoever's building a game, I think, is at one point or another had something pop up that slowed them down. And building pinball machines is hard. I've never built a pinball machine. I plan on never building a pinball machine. It's a personal goal that I've set out for myself. Never build a pinball machine. And I'm so far so good on that, because I can tell just by looking at it and seeing manufacturing of other types that pinball machines are difficult. Your margins of error are small. There's so much that could trip you up through the design process. I mean, think about designing one of these things and then making it real. There's a lot. So it's obviously hard. So Kevin basically wrote a long post that sort of says, sit tight, hang with us, we are working on it. And he sums it up and he says, so what is the takeaway from this incredibly long-winded post? And he says, am I returning to Pinside? No. He's done with Pinside, I think, as a main weapon of communication, so to speak. I think it stirs him up, it upsets him. Pinside can do that. I think there are a handful of people on Pinside who stir up problems and create drama because they're bored, or they are, quote, trolls, and they just want to do that, and they feel that that's their role. And those people, I don't have a lot of love for those people. And those people probably know who they are, and they probably don't listen to this show, because I don't think they'd put up with me rambling, because they're the type of person that they need to be the one talking and saying something at any given moment. So I can't imagine them listening to 45 minutes of me, because they would probably just pause me every few seconds and say a bunch of nonsensical crap trying to rile me up, which doesn't work because this is recorded. So I think there's a small group of people who have made life for some people really, really tough. I think there's also a second group of people who are really trying to do the right thing or have money involved in these projects or have just a lot of, I think, genuine care for different projects and people. And sometimes they stoke the fire. They stoke the trolls forward. They just stoke the unrest. I mean, I've seen threads on Pinside where people like kind of call out someone like, hey, answer this question. And if the question isn't answered in like 24 hours, there's a lynch mob coming after them. Like, oh, Rick from Planetary Pinball is an evil man. He did not answer my question in 23.9 hours. He must be killed. And it's silly. It's like, we don't all live on Pinside. So there's some of that going on. And I think those sort of things have led to Kevin sort of saying, you know what? I know that I used Pinside as a big platform for getting my company off the ground and building Predator, but I need to take a step back. And I'm totally putting words in Kevin's mouth right now, so I'm sorry, Kevin, if that's not what you feel, but I kind of think it is. So he's sort of backing off from that and telling us that he's backing off from that. He says, is this a production update? And he answers, well, not really, although I believe this is the first time I've officially stated that there are games being physically assembled. So there's that. So they are building Predator machines at Skit B Pinball. Is this a public apology? And he says, sort of. As I stated above, it was our open and honest communication that won us your support in the beginning, and I would be lying if I were to say we haven't betrayed that in some way, even if it was with good intentions. The silence has been deafening for too long, and for that I am most sincerely and personally apologize. So I think there is what I was just saying. Yes, he did come to Pinside originally and said, hey, we're going to build this game. Who's interested? And he sold 250 games. And we've talked about this on the show before, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but for those of you just joining us, Skit B Pinball is one of the most interesting stories in the independent, small-run pinball manufacturing kind of community, because they were the first ones to really on their own say, hey, we're going to do this small, we're going to do a small run of a game, and it's going to be this really homegrown thing. And they were met with like a lot of orders, a lot of money, a lot of excitement. And then the pressure built as it became clear that, like we said before, and I'll do this in air quotes and we can all say it together, building pinball machines is hard. So then we've seen this wave of other builders. And we saw Jersey Jack bring out their game and ship their game. We see Spooky Pinball shipping their game. And then we go to Expo, and there's all these other games, and still no Predator. So I think Kevin and Skit B find themselves in this like really weird, like, hey, we were the belle of the ball. Now people are starting to question what we're doing here. So he's sort of apologizing, saying, yeah, I'm sorry, but, stick with us here. And then he says, at any rate, it's now onward and upward, my friends. We undoubtedly have some serious work ahead of us, but I will not let the hills ahead of us blur my view of the mountains we've crossed. It's time to move on from schematics and sourcing. It's time to put our nose back to the grindstone. It's time to get hyped up again. It's time to build some games. I'll leave you guys with a single, simple photo of the contents of just one of the many shipments of parts we have over here. How many machines do you think is in this pile? And then there's a photograph that looks like a Mexican drug runner's garage, because it kind of looks like a bunch of drugs wrapped up in plastic, which obviously it's not. I'm just kidding. And it's a bunch of parts for games. So, and of course, after that post, everyone was happy. Everyone went about their merry business, and no one said anything, right? No, of course not. This is pinball, and this is Pinside, and it's a forum. It's the internet. We've all been to the depths of the internet. A lot of people were very happy with this update. A lot of people with money in the game have said, okay, great, thank you, got it, I'm with you, I want my Predator game, I think you've got great design ideas, you got a great game coming, I trust you, yes. We also had some people who took the negative approach and said, that's not that many parts, that's not going to build that many machines. And then we had what I thought was actually really funny, was there was this sort of conspiracy theory that was running parallel with the whole conversation about Kevin doesn't say the word Predator. He doesn't type the word Predator. They may be stripping Predator off this game. They've lost the license to Predator. Oh my gosh. Which Kevin came back later and was like, no, that's really not the case. Predator. I'm saying Predator. Here's Predator. Yes, Predator came off their website. I don't know the specifics. I don't know the backstory. I think it's been floated out there many times by many people. Likely what happened here is that they had a period of time where they could use the Predator logo, name, all that concept of the movie for marketing a game, and no, they can't. Now they can't. Now they have to pull it. And also, they've sold all their games, right? Or at least at one point they had sold all their games. They may have lost some along the way. But they don't really have anything to promote with Predator. It's sold. So now they're working on Experts of Dangerous as far as the marketing side of it. So that was put to bed. Kevin said Predator. It's all okay. The game is still going to be Predator. I never believed that was an issue to begin with. So, about a week ago, I think there's still been some, kind of back and forth in the thread. Kevin kind of came back, said Predator, and then left again. And we'll just have to wait and see. I'm a little bit worried just in that I do see Spooky Pinball building games, and I see the rate at which they're able to build games. And Spooky has had some fairly well documented little issues with the games they've built here and there. Nothing major. I mean, really, honestly, I think a lot of people would have guessed there would have been many more problems. They've run into some small things, and they've addressed them incredibly quick because they know that you have one chance to make a first impression. And everybody that I've read that had any sort of issue with America's Most Haunted also quickly said, I got the best customer service I could expect. The solution came quick. All is well. And that's great. That's awesome. So knowing kind of the rate that they're running at, and knowing that Skit B is building games in a similar fashion to Spooky Pinball, very much in-home, by hand, by the group they have there, it's going to be a long time, I think, before all 250 Predator games are built and shipped. And that will be interesting to watch play out. Like, when does the first one ship and when does the last one ship? If we're thinking, if it's 2 a week, that's about what Spooky's doing right now, I think, 2 to 3 a week. It's going to be a while. If it's 5 a week, it's going to be a little while. So it will be interesting to watch. I watch as a fan of anybody with the drive, the passion, and the guts to go out and start a pinball company. And so that I really applaud Kevin and Skit B Pinball for. I wish them the best. I hope these games get out. I know that I think getting over this first one will solve a lot of problems for them. And hopefully on Game 2 they will have a factory ready to build the game. So they can worry about design and making a fun experience and not necessarily have to worry about building the game. And that is one of the interesting parts of the whole boutique discussion, the whole homebrew discussion is, can anybody realistically, 1 or 2 people, conceptualize, design, bring to life with art and toys and physical world elements, and build, manufacture, get it through quality control, do all of it? Can anybody do all of that on their own, by themselves, and be very successful? It's hard. That's really a tough hill. Spooky Pinball partnered with Ben Heck, who did the design and the art and the programming side of America's Most Haunted. They're pulling it off. That's a pretty small team of people. And I think Skit B is going to pull off Predator over some time. But it's a testament to all these people who are actually doing it and making this hobby more fun. It's exciting. Hey, man, I love Stern games just like everybody else does. I mean, not everybody, but most people. I think Stern has really taken this step forward in the past, 2-3 years, where it's not just, hey, we're the only ones here, you got to buy our game. It's, hey, we make awesome pinball machines, and you're going to want to buy this game. And I think it's awesome to have little companies, smaller companies, nipping at their heels, throwing their best efforts up against the Stern games. And that's exciting. That will drive, competition's really healthy, and that will drive innovation, that will drive change and good things. So I'm excited, and I wish Skit B the best here, and I was glad to see a post from him. All right, next on Forum Static, we need to take a little visit to the events subforum on Pinside because there's a lot going on with pinball events coming up. All right, first and foremost, I want to talk about the 2015 Texas Pinball Festival, and there's a thread all about it in the Pinside forums under the events, started by the man himself, Ed, in Texas. And the dates of the show are, I believe, the 27th to the 29th of March. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. But more than that, I want to really thank Ed because I got to actually meet Ed at Expo, which was awesome. Ed's probably going to come on the show here as we get closer to the event. I had a great time last year in Texas. It was awesome. Tons of games. Over 400 pinball machines. And I think this year's going to be even better. I've heard some of the rumors of what's going on. I've seen some of the early confirmations. I'll just tell you, if you're thinking about making a road trip to one festival this year and you really want to play pinball, like if you don't care so much about the Expo side of it, 'cause Expo's awesome and there's a lot of history in Expo, but if you really just want to go play a ton of pinball games and have a really great laid-back environment in a good space with lots of room, go to the Texas Pinball Festival. I think a lot of festivals are great, but there's something really awesome about Texas in the size. They do it bigger in Texas, yada, yada, I know. I want to thank Ed personally because Ed sent me in the mail something very, very cool. He sent me the 2015 collector's coins for the Texas Pinball Festival. And these are like heavy-duty coins with the logo put onto the coin. And then there's a special coin for those folks that are, quote, volunteering or working or maybe chilling for the festival like I think I am doing right now. Although I'm not being paid. I'm doing this just because I loved it so much last year and I can't wait to go back this year. But he did send me one of the really cool Uber Limited coins. They're awesome. They're really cool. I saw their hats went up a while back too. And actually, I think the new hat went up maybe today or yesterday with the kind of Attack from Mars motif, which is sort of the theme of the 2015 Texas Pinball Festival. That might be a tip of the hat, so to speak, towards an upcoming announcement. We shall see. But I really want to thank Ed for the coins. They're awesome. They will go on a shelf next to the 2014 coin. I can't wait to go to Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas. Easy to get to. And I don't know what I'm doing there. I think I may go and just do a bunch of shows, podcasts. I may do some interviews. I may put my initials on No Games at All. You never know. All sorts of good things. So definitely Texas Pinball Festival is sort of like out on my radar. Very much looking forward to it. In the news this week, kind of a big deal is Pinburg. Pinburg went on sale. And in years past, Pinburg has sold out within the hour. And they expanded the field this year to 700. That's right, 700 players in a match play format. That's big. That is, it's massive. And this is a format that is unique and different, and I'm excited about. And they moved the dates around this year a little bit. The fine folks at Papa have changed the way things are going to happen. And this is sort of based around the Replay FX Expo Festival. I'm not sure what we're calling that exactly. But Replay FX is going to be a very large trade show-esque type of convention with pinball and video games. It's called the Replay FX Arcade and Gaming Festival, July 30th through the August 2nd, 2015 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So they're going to move all the games from Papa to the convention center. And I say the convention center because I can't remember the name of the convention center, but that doesn't matter. We've got months and months to talk about it. But more so than anything, it's going to be one of the largest arcade and video game festivals ever. And Pinburg is moving to the summer, which is kind of a change because Pinburg was in the spring and then Papa, the World Championships, were in the summer. Well, they're flipping. Papa is coming up sooner than later. Papa will be in the spring. So I joked with Kaylee George at Expo. I said, hey man, like you get the shortest title reign of all time because Papa's getting moved forward. And he kind of said he knew, and he got the joke. I think I was not the first person to make that point. So I signed up for Papa myself because there's a chance I can go. I don't know for sure. I hope so. I think I posted on Twitter the other day that there's a 75% chance that I can't go, just because the way my schedule plays out. I don't even know if I can go to Papa this year. I just got my work schedule for the first half of the year. It's not looking great. However, I wanted to go ahead and register for Pinburg because if I can somehow pull it off, it's over my birthday weekend, and that could be an issue for a few reasons in this household. It's one of the most unique tournaments out there. It's 700 people in match play. It's so awesome. I want to be a part of it. I'm really excited. So if I can make it, I'm going to. If I can't make it, I have till the end of March, I believe, to bow out, give up my spot. There's a wait list already going, so there will be people to fill my spot. I'm not being greedy. I'm trying to go. I paid my money. I'll get my money back by the end of March, if not. And after that, they start, penalizing you in your buy-in. So I should know by the end of March. But anyway, I know that they sold out 700 seats in 12 hours. That's huge. That's awesome. Papa will be March 11th to the 15th for the World Championships. Pinburg in the summertime at the end of July. So that's pretty exciting. And even if you're not going to go to Pinburg, I would encourage you, if you're anywhere in that region, in the northeast corner of the country, start looking at the Replay FX schedule. They have a massive festival planned for you, both arcade and pinball. And pinball is what, obviously I care about. So that's definitely a big, I think, news item going into 2015. A little more soon than that, we have a few things in Southern California, which is really exciting to me. We have the Arcade Expo. Okay, I want to get to their website so I can get all the details right on this. Arcade Expo is happening in Banning, California. It's the inaugural Arcade Expo, January 16th to the 18th, SoCal's largest arcade exposition. This was the large collection of games that a little over a year ago we saw Kickstarter pop up trying to open a pinball museum Hall of Fame type of place in Banning, California, which did not succeed. However, they've put the team together. They've cleaned up the space. They've got it dialed in. They have 40,000 square feet for pinball machines. They're talking 750 plus pinball and arcade games to be played over the 16th, 17th, 18th of January. I'm very excited. That's less than 40 days away. I've been in a little bit of contact with the gentleman over at Arcade Expo. I hope to talk to them soon. I was actually invited up to go see it. I just have not had a chance to go do that. It's only a couple hours away from where I am. It's in the Inland Empire of Southern California, about an hour due east on I-10 of Los Angeles, probably an hour and a half to 2 hours northeast of San Diego. Very excited. They will have tournaments. They will have movies at night. They will have seminars going on. Southern California needs this. Very, very excited. I know Roger Sharp is going to be speaking there. And I think Walter Day, who is at a lot of the arcade type things from the Twin Galaxy world. I won't speak too much about arcade games because I will sound stupid in a hurry. They're also going to try and break the world record that was set last year at the Texas Pinball Festival of the most people playing pinball simultaneously. I believe last year it was somewhere in like the 270 person range. And this year they're going to try and beat that. And they have a Kickstarter that's already funded. They were looking for $1,400. You buy into it, get a space. They have 42 people backing. I think that Southern California will turn out very well to this show. One thing to note about this is the week after Arcade Expo is a very big tournament called It Never Drains in Southern California. Do you get it? So that's the week after. So if you had the time and could make the trip to Southern California, you're going to have this giant Arcade Expo with tournaments, and then you're going to have one of the big circuit events for Papa the next weekend, like 25 miles away, 20 miles away, something like that, January 23rd, 24th, 25th, in San Dimas, California, at the Chaparral Lanes. I went last year. It was a lot of fun. Last year, Keith Elwin took it down, and Jim Belsito won the classics. It was a very well-run tournament. You got to get on games very quickly, very easily. It was a lot of fun. Everyone's super friendly. I would encourage you, if you're in earshot of this podcast and you're thinking about doing the California swing, try and get out to It Never Drains in Southern California for your taste of high-level tournament pinball. It was definitely a lot of fun. I have my annual trade show that weekend, the NAMM show, the North American Musical Merchants, or National Association of Musical Merchants, whatever it is. I should know these things, right? The NAMM show in Anaheim. That's a big deal for my industry. It is where a ton of dealers from around, not just the country, but the world, come and visit all together at a giant convention center. We show off our new products. It's huge. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to It Never Drains in Southern California, because I have these crazy long days. I have dinners with my clients, and I'm kind of bummed. Kind of bummed that all these things are stacking right up on top of each other. So then the National Association of Music Merchants trade show in Anaheim is also that weekend. So bummer for me. But anyway, if you're a top-level player, you already know about InDisc, as they call it. It Never Drains in Southern California. Hopefully you're trying to find a way to come out and support Arcade Expo the weekend before. There's a whole lot going on there. So lots of stuff coming up, and even more after that. So we'll have lots of time to talk about events. 2015 is shaping up to be possibly the biggest year ever in pinball events around the country, dare I say. All right, and maybe the most pressing thing on my pinball mind right now is an event that's happening this weekend, Friday and Saturday night, the 12th and 13th of December, in New York City. New York City, New York, USA. Greatest city in the world. Dutch Pinball and Modern Pinball NYC are presenting the Big Lebowski Pinball VIP launch event. It's pretty exciting. I am flying round trip to New York and back, all in the course of about 30 hours to attend. I am very excited. I was very, very happy and honored to be invited by the guys at Dutch Pinball. I cannot wait. So here's the details. If you're in the New York City area and you're hearing this and it's not too late, Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., both nights, everyone's invited. $20 at the door gets you 5 commemorative tokens, which will get you a play on the Big Lebowski machine. There probably will be, other chances to play depending on how packed the place is. Unlimited pinball on the rest of the machines. And when I was last there about a month ago, there's 35 machines up and running, from Modern Stearns to a original Bally Kiss. There's one EM in the room. I think there's a Punchy the Clown. There's all sorts of cool games. Lots of great games. A-list games. Other great games like World Poker Tour that you don't always see out on location. Really nice game selections. You get unlimited play, and you get to hang out with the Dutch Pinball guys, right? That's a big deal. And Saturday night, I will be there. I'm going to be doing a interview with Team Dutch Pinball. Very excited about that. At least Barry and Yop. I don't know who else might jump into the show, but we're going to do the big Coast to Coast Pinball, Dutch Pinball podcast that I've been waiting to do, and that's going to happen. So I really encourage you to get on a subway train, get on a train, fly in, drive in, whatever you have to do. Come support both the Big Lebowski launch. Game's awesome. You heard me talk about it on past shows. I loved playing it. Can't wait to see how it's playing now. And then come check out Modern Pinball NYC. What Steve and Steve have done there with Joe and everybody else involved. They have a real good team effort between the owners of the games, and the technicians. It's just like this group of people who really love pinball and are going the extra mile to have a great pinball experience in New York City. Everything's on free play. I love it. It's one of my favorite places to play in the entire country. So Big Lebowski, Modern Pinball NYC this weekend. I'll be there Saturday. And looking forward to. I know I've had quite a few emails from folks out in that area asking if I'll be there. But yes, Saturday I will be there, and hopefully my plane's not delayed. Don't do it to me, American Airlines. Don't do it. So can't wait for that. That's this weekend. All right, forum static of another kind. I spent a little time tonight on a different forum. And you're thinking, oh, you went to the old school forums. No. That's not what I did. I went to the planetarypinball.com/forum forums, the PPS forums. Rick has put up a forum on his own website that talks all things planetary pinball, parts, wish lists, parts you want. I went there mainly, though, because I wanted to read about the Medieval Madness remake updates, because there's a new update today. There's a game that has been built and is now in California that Rick's going to be doing a tournament with this weekend. That's good news. They are saying there's daily phone calls between Chicago Gaming Company and Stern getting the game set to go. They have parts being staged. This game's about to be built, folks. It's happening. It's coming. I don't know the games are going to land in December to those who have bought the games, but shortly thereafter is what I can glean the best from reading this. So if you haven't checked out this forum, I would encourage you to do so. I think they already have like over 700 members, and Rick posts in the updates and the read-only thread, so you can have like a running commentary on both Medieval Madness updates and then just the parts side of Planetary Pinball, which of course is a big part of what they do. And there is fast pinball updates, so you can look about some of the WPC 2.0 concepts that they're doing, that they're working on, those gentlemen over there. And it's neat. I think it's good. And it sounds like the people on Medieval Madness have kind of gotten through all the tough days. There were delays, obviously. They've passed that. Now people are just excited to finally get their games. So you can go there and you can tell everyone what trim choice you decided to get on your Medieval Madness Remake Limited Edition. You can talk about bill acceptors and validators and all that good stuff right there on the forum. So a new forum to bookmark in your pinball folder, which I'm sure you have in your internet browser of choice, right? So check that out. I did. It's cool. And you'll have all the inside info on Planetary Pinball Supply as they move along.
Check the email.
I don't think we've read a Joe Zenkus email in a while, have we? Let's do that. I have one here. Joe Zenkus. He's referencing episode 123, and he writes, original themes. Yes, these can work if the theme is desired and is executed well. I think the gameplay and modes on America's Most Haunted are top-notch, but there's more to a game than just great mechanics. I think the playfield artwork lacks a little. I think I've said that as well, Joe. Ben is a great graphic artist, but maybe lacks some of the drawing character skills. Possibly. Okay, all right. Also, it doesn't have catchy music like Black Knight 2000 or Whitewater World. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, Joe. I like the music. I had sort of written off the music in my head, too, until I was last playing America's Most Haunted and really liked the music. I don't remember right off the top of my head right now, but I'm sure you'll hear more about that from me. Update. But Joe goes on to say, and I agree with this completely, I think what AMH lacks, it makes up in other areas, but it's not a completely rounded out package. Don't let that change your mind about buying it. I still think it will go down in history as a phenomenal design and be highly sought after when production ends. You can't change my mind about buying it because KT and Charlie have my money, and I don't think they're going to give it back. I do think it will go down in history as... So, okay, I'm just going to break this down for everyone. I am not into buying machines to, quote, speculate or collect with intent of making a profit. I don't care about that. I don't really hold it against you if that's what you do. That's fine. I think that's okay, and a little of that's probably healthy for the industry on some level. I see it in guitars too. I was okay with that. I think it's good that some people just buy. I think that's good. I don't care about that. That's not what I'm doing. However, as I've watched America's Most Haunted kind of progress over the last year, I can tell you that when they capped this game at 150 units, this game will be sought after. I think if you are one of those speculators, like if you have your Big Bang bar sitting on eBay for $37,000 or whatever, or if you have your home use only Monster Bash over there roped off in the corner where no one can touch it, and you're just waiting it out, if you're one of those guys, you might call Charlie up and just get a game on order, because this game's likely to be one of those, oh man, I wish I had bought America's Most Haunted. And I'm really not saying this, I'm trying to drive the price up, because I think I've documented pretty bad at how bad I am at selling games. I'm not going to sell my first new in-box game anytime, ever soon, probably. Like, right? That's just not going to be me. So I'm going to buy this thing to keep it. And that leaves 149 of them out there in the world. And I know a few other people who'll never sell it. So there's going to be very few of these games out there. And yeah, I think the artwork could have been a step or two past where it is? Yeah, I do. I do. I think so. I'm subjective on that. I think that you're going to have those type of scenarios when you have a small company doing all of it. I think the back glass artwork's kind of awesome. I think it's fantastic. I think the playfield artwork could have used another round. That's okay. But what I think they have is a challenging game. I think the callouts are going to really be something that we talk about for years and years and years, like in the vibe of America's Most Haunted, when somebody's talking about doing a kitschy type thing. We do it right now with Medieval Madness, where we say, oh, you blend humor with the serious game. Medieval Madness style, Tina Fey, the Chicago Players guys, whatever the comedians were, whatever. I think America's Most Haunted will kind of be like that. I think people say, oh, it's kitschy like America's Most Haunted, in a good way. I think if you are that collector and you're betting on games that are going to, become rare and be museum-type pieces, I think America's Most Haunted is going to be that. So the fact that there's any left, and last time I spoke with Charlie via email, he did say there were games remaining. I would be getting on that if I were you, because it's not even that expensive. It's not like you're dropping $10,000; you're dropping like $6,000. So, just saying. Joe actually goes on to say, you know what game is a real sleeper that I got to play recently? And I said to my head, a real sleeper. I don't know, Joe. What is a real sleeper? And he says, Blackwater 100. And he goes on to say, I'm not a big fan of motocross, but I think most of us from the 80s era admired the sport growing up. And you know what? The game is so much fun. There's so many ramps to shoot at. The vacuum-formed plastics make it feel like you're playing inside a scale model. And the detail to bushes and sponsor logo signs. And he goes on, but I gotta tell you, I've played Blackwater 100 in the not-too-distant past. I don't really like that game. I disagreed with Joe on this one. I think I replied to him on his email here. Agree on all of this, except I've never liked Blackwater 100. I don't like the game. I don't know. It feels cramped. It feels hard to hit anything because it's all down in that lower area eventually. I don't know. Not my scene. Not my scene at all. But I appreciate your opinion, Joe, even if it's wrong. That's okay. Then he says, with all that said, I agree that Spooky should license the next title. As you can read on Pinside, a license can be a very minimal fee, $500 to $100 per title. Now, I've not read that on Pinside, but I've actually heard those numbers elsewhere, so somebody must have also heard that and put that on Pinside. Compared to the volume of pins you could potentially sell. And then he goes on to some ideas, and I won't get into all that, but I wanted to bring that up because it kind of can speak for a few other emails that I got. A lot of people reacted to me kind of voicing my opinion that if I had a small company and I was going to build a pinball machine, which I'm not, I would absolutely 100% without even considering something else do a licensed theme that I thought would connect with a certain segment of the pinball market, just for if nothing else to know that I could sell some games and get myself through to game number 2, where I could then do my cool license theme, or my cool original theme, excuse me. So I had some people said, hey man, lay off. Charlie's a good dude. If he wants to make a zombie game, let him make a zombie game. And yes, they did type it with that kind of like surfer stoner, voice thing going on. And I had probably 2 to 1 though say, yeah, I totally agree. I hope he does like a horror movie theme. I think that'll help him more. And it's just, it's certainly not that I don't think Charlie can make a really cool game out of Pinball Zombies from Beyond the Grave, because again, I think that back gloss was awesome. I think the idea of the zombies trying to get the cute girls is awesome. I like it. I like that theme. I'm all over that theme. I just think that people are lying when they say we want original themes. They don't know what they're saying. They don't want original themes. They want the exact right original theme that fits exactly to them. They don't want just an original theme. So if you're a builder, that's risky because you got to hit the original theme right on the top of the head. So I think a safer bet is to find some license that people are either already sort of talking about, like The Big Lebowski, or a license that people would instantly go, oh yeah, that's a no-brainer, obvious, like Aliens, and go do it and do an awesome game based around that. And you know what? Let's say it's Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters to me is one of the big, like, oh my gosh, if you can license Ghostbusters, you're gonna do really well. And that also gives you lots of options and design and toys and fun. But let's say you went and licensed and you explored what it was going to be like to build a Ghostbusters game. And you really agree on it. You get all emotionally attached to Ghostbusters. But then you have your meetings, your phone meetings, your email meetings, whatever, with the people that hold that license. And you start getting the feeling, man, they're not going to let Smog get hit by the ball. Just kidding. man, these guys are hard to work with, then bail on the theme. Then by all means bail, go find another one. There's more themes. There's lots of themes. There's themes for everyone, right? So that's what I would do. If I ran into a situation where I was, heading down that road, I would try and be able to detach myself from that theme to get out of it so I could still make an awesome game. But if I'm a small company, I want a theme just to help me sell that game. And to raise the profile, because you know what? Everybody is going to go, oh, an alien pinball machine. Nobody is going to go, oh, a super wonder cat rabbit hunter arrow wielding anti-hero thief game. Your original theme just won't resonate. People may end up loving it, but at first it's going to be a harder road to travel. So there, that's all I got to say on that. So that is my entire mailbag segment. It was all you, Joe. It was all you, Joe, tonight. Because we're at the end. It's over. 124 is done. No more. I got stuff to do tonight. I got to go to bed. Oh, well, yeah, one more thing, though. Crazy Forum Static Mania bumpers. I asked for them. I've gotten quite a few. They're all really terrible in their own uniquely good way, so we'll play them on the next show. So keep sending them in. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go back and listen to the next show. So far, you all lose, but we'll make fun of you on the next show, and then you'll be a winner. Okay? Does that make sense? So anyway, thank you for listening. If you'd like to send me an email, I love your emails, and I'll try and read as many as I can on the air, and I'll try to reply to as many as I can with my hands and my fingers on my keyboard. You can email me at Coast, the number 2, Coast, Pinball at gmail.com. You can check out our website. Our website is at Coast2CoastPinball.com. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. Or you can just ignore it all and just download the podcast, and I appreciate that too. So, until next time, which hopefully is sooner than later, and maybe not until New York City, I'm signing off. Thank you for listening to episode 124 of Coast to Coast Pinball. Take care.